protected in their home range. Now, to identify a turtle, a couple things you're looking for. Of course, a shell, but that shell's rather flat and streamlined, as well as having webbed feet. Good thing for swimming. But sometimes you might be looking at a reptile with a shell. I'd be looking at something a little bit different. So I'm hoping you guys can help me and tell me what this is. Other than heavy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not a turtle, but
a tortoise.
tortoise. Now you'd be amazed though, how many times people see a reptile with a shell and the only thing that comes to mind is turtle. Tortoises adapt a little differently. They're basically for life on land. You won't see them swimming in the water. They're just not built for it. Yeah, their feet are massive to pick up the big heavy shell and move it everywhere they need to go. Now, this guy is called a spur-thighed tortoise. It comes from Africa, one of the larger species on the planet. Get about 200 pounds, live 100 years. But that's nothing. I was in the Galapagos Islands last year. I saw tortoises like this, 600-700 pounds.
Wow.
Now, some of those big guys were over 200 years of age. They still had a pretty long life ahead of them. Some of the longest living vertebrate animals on the planet. Unlike our carnivorous turtle, that's a herbivore. Think of us like a cow in a shell. Goes on grazing on grasses all day long. In Africa, where he comes from, it's so harsh and inhospitable, might go his entire life without ever once being able to drink water. That's a tough animal. Now my next reptile, sometimes a little bit of confusion in identifying this type. So we're going to bring out Curly. Now he's about 7 years of age. I'm going to point out some features on his body. This will allow us to figure out exactly what type of reptile he is.
Oh, an alligator.
So to identify him, you just look at his mouth, which happens to be short and rounded at the end. Now with his mouth closed, well, you only see teeth that stick down from his upper jaw. Of course, making him a alligator. Yeah, crocodiles much longer, pointed snout, mouths closed, see all of their teeth. And I know these guys look kind of scary. Of course, you watch TV and movies around every chance they get. I don't learn anything about animals from television and movies. Because oftentimes they show them to you in one of two extremes. First, there's some Hollywood villain that wants to eat you every chance they get. Not true. Or some Disney character wants to give you a big hug. Not true either. Kind of right down the middle. You leave them alone, they leave you alone, everybody's happy. And of course, you don't mess around with an alligator very simply because of this mouth. So this is the most powerful biting force of any animal on the planet. There's it again. So there is 3,000 to 5,000 pounds per square inch as an adult. Even at this size, if he doesn't want me to open up that mouth, no way I can. 80 pearly whites as well, which he loses all the time. No problem, grows a brand new one back every couple of weeks. Might go through thousands of teeth in a lifetime. And as powerful as that mouth is in closing, very little pressure in opening. Hold it shut with just 2 fingers like that. Now he sits on my lap like he's some kind of a pet. He's more dangerous than most alligators you're going to find in the wild. Why? Well, we have to feed him. It's the only way he can eat. But because of that, he has no fear of humans. That's a bad thing. He's smart enough to figure out these two-legged mammals given food. He's hungry, sees us walking up, and sometimes he comes flying right up at us. Not trying to eat us. Just knowing food comes from these things. I've been bitten 3 times by him in that fashion. It feels like someone hit you with a sledgehammer. Wild alligator, they're not coming anywhere near you. Now in the world today, there are 23 species of what are known as crocodilians. That's alligators, crocodiles, caiman. Unfortunately, most threatened or endangered. American alligator doing fine now. Back in the 60s, due to overcollection, poaching, the numbers dropped drastically low. Given federal protection, had habitat to bounce back into, today doing just fine. Now my last reptile, before we move on. Well, for most people, it's probably their favorite in the world. What would that be? Snakes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, let me see by show of hands, who here would be afraid of a snake? A lot of hands go up, as I thought. I have great news for you. Snakes, like most other wild animals, they're terrified of you. You gotta think of it like this. As big as a snake might be, moving along on the ground, they're like this tall. Look up at us, we're like this giant animal. Their brain thinks, man, that thing's gonna eat me. So what do you do if you see a snake? Clock's ticking, what do you do? You run. Don't run. You know what happens when you run, right?
Chase you?
No, they're not going to chase after you. That's TV and movies. Never the TV and movies. So what happens if you run is you get so scared. You're running, looking over your shoulder. You're going to run into something, fall down. Snake starts laughing at you. It's embarrassing. You just turn around and walk away. Letting them alone to do their job, which is eating rodents. But I know what you're thinking. Yeah. What if I meet a snake and it's deadly and it bites me and I die? Very unlikely. Out of all the snake species around the world, only like 1 out of 7 are venomous. Here in North America, way less than that. Now, with that said, though, the snake we're going to look at, and not only is she venomous, she is considerably deadly. So for insurance purposes, I got to point out to everyone, please do not attempt this at home. Which is kind of dumb to point out, because you see what I'm about to do? You have to be a complete idiot to even try this in the first place. So when I bring her out, at first, she kind of looks like any other type that you'll see. I'm going to try and get her to do something rather characteristic of this particular type of snake. And we recognize right away what she is. Sunshine. So as she comes around here, yeah, you see that beautiful hood start to flare out? Get it going in the right direction here. Let's go this way. Let's go this way, big girl. There we go. Yeah, you see that beautiful hood flare? This is an albino monocle cobra. Now, she'll spread that hood as a warning, a threat. Hopes by appearing much larger that I leave her alone. Except I'm not particularly smart messing around with her. Purpose of the hood, they spread it out, instantly they're larger. Predator's like, whoa, what just happened there? And this species has a false eye marking on the back of the hood, so a predator's not sure in which direction to attack. Choose incorrectly,
Wow, she's
one
pretty.
single drop of her venom is capable of killing me. The average bite could consist of a dozen or more drops. Not an animal we'd want to be bitten by, that's for sure. But as potentially deadly as she could be, all she'd rather do is go back inside that nice dark box and be bothered by me. But I know what you're thinking. Yeah, how can I handle such a potentially deadly animal? I'll let y'all a secret. David, my helper in the back there, he's actually a trained EMT. Now, if I were to be bitten by that snake, he would instantly make an incision into my body, suck that venom out. Gives me a lot more confidence that he's watching out for me back there. I'm going to tell you, he's a good guy. Oh, a good buddy, always watching my back. I don't have to worry about a thing with him. So that'll finish our reptile.